are live. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Good Sunday afternoon. I don't know why I decided to be like morning smooth jazz talk show voice, but sure, let's roll with it. Why not? It's a
We're here
sleepy
to bring
Sunday.
you the soft sounds
Mm.
of a wonderful beat.
You ever listen to jazz? Yeah. Dude, it's weird. It's like I don't think there was anything forecasted for it today, but we're getting sleet here. It's maybe that's something to do with it. It's like, everything's chill. I don't know why. Anyhow,
Mm.
hello everyone. Welcome to Anime Church, uh, the church where cosplay is accepted, and you will not catch any judgment from us. Yes. No, I was. That's great. I love that. No, I was just waking up. No, I feel that. No, guys. Hi, welcome. Okay, I'll put on some energy. Gah. Hi, welcome to Anime Church. I am one of your hosts, Richie Roberts, your Minister of Science and Technology.
I am the other host, Moonlight Sparks, your Minister of Archaeology. Praise
Moonlight
Arceus.
Sparks. Moonlight Sparks.
Moonlight
Yeah, I was gonna be like, Mr. Potter, our newest celebrity.
And I'm just some random guy who comes in here every Sunday. I'm Fenrir Saru and your patron saint to snackers and alcohol.
I mean, all
Boy,
homeless
I wish I
people are
had some
welcome
right
in the
now.
house of gods. We don't shun our homeless people. Hey, DDA is streaming. What? Da-da.
Yeah, it is.
Dude, if we were on Twitch, I'd raid him after Anime Church. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be so funny. We got quite a few things to talk about today, as you can see from the title. Yeah, I was expecting. Let's just jump into the first sort of topic. I was expecting more like trailers for the Super Bowl. There wasn't a lot. I haven't heard anything about the commercials being like amazing either. The only thing I've heard talked about is the Eagles beat the shit out of the Chiefs, which I didn't care about to begin with. They're not either of my teams, so whatever. And then there is the Super Bowl halftime show was super controversial. So depending on who you ask, it was the best show ever or is the worst show ever. There's no one that was saying it was mid. It's one or the other, and yeah. I watched it. I liked it. I dude, the whole thing was just it was an art form, and it was Kendrick not backing down from Drake and be like, "Oh, you're not going to threaten me into not performing this song. I'm going to stare right at the
Mm-hmm.
camera when I say your name." And I'm like, "My God, the balls on this motherfucker." It was great. But yeah, there weren't a lot of trailers, and honestly, I think Universal actually made a good choice. Instead of showing the trailer for How to Train Your Dragons on the Super Bowl, they were like, "Here's a teaser. The trailer comes out Wednesday." So by the time everybody stopped talking about the trailers that would drop in the Super Bowl, they can show up on Wednesday, and now they dominate the conversation for the rest of the week. Pretty smart move. Pretty smart move. I'll give them that. And seeing as we're talking about that, let me put it up on screen. So we have the new full trailer for How to Train Your Dragon, and it's pretty spot on as far as like the dialogue that is spoken and everything that you're seeing. It definitely feels like a recreation of the first film.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all the dragons look amazing. They look exactly like they're supposed to.
Yeah, it's basically they took the 3D models from the 3D film and said, "Okay, just make it more detailed."
I think this looks really good. I still don't like. I still have the whole thing of why. Like to be fair though, I would prefer
I,
if they're gonna do a live action that they do it as close to the original as possible and don't change too much because the original was freaking perfect.
But remember, we do have the answer for why. It was literally just because the
Yeah.
director wanted to, writer-director wanted to. It was
Okay.
just like,
Well.
I just want to try it live action.
Okay. I guess the question changed to: do we really need this?
Technically, no, but
No.
there's love in it, so
I'm not not
I'm not
hating
gonna
on it. I'm
complain.
just like, huh.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it does well, but I'm not seeing any reason to drop money on a movie ticket at the
Yeah.
moment. I will probably watch this when it comes to streaming. I will watch the hell out of this when it comes to streaming.
Fair.
But yeah, like I didn't go see the new Captain America, and I've not heard.
Could you imagine if they tried making Shrek live action?
Let's not do that.
Exactly.
No, Michael Myers is way too old for that.
Dear
He doesn't
God.
show it though. Have you seen him?
Okay.
Not
You mean
recently,
Mike
no.
Myers, not Michael Myers. Those are two different people. Mike
No, they're
Myers.
not.
Yes, they are. Mike
No.
Myers is not running around stabbing people to death in a town in, like, I think it's Pennsylvania. No, it's Illinois. Sorry. Mike Myers is a comedian. Michael Myers is a serial murderer. There's a difference.
Have you seen how many people Austin Powers has killed?
Austin Powers is a character. Also, they
has he
deserved
really
it.
Killed that many people.
I mean, who does number 2 work
He's
for?
killed at least one, but technically that wasn't even him. That was his partner at the time who showed her front side off, to put it nicely.
No,
and,
there's also the guy.
Homeboy
There's
just
also the guy.
didn't
There's
notice
also
when
the
he
guy
shot.
that got eaten by the piranhas in the vat that Austin made all the jokes about he'll never be the head of a major corporation.
Yep.
Most of Austin's kills are accidental.
Yes.
To be fair, Austin Powers kills a lot of henchmen or goons on accident.
hmm
It's
Favorite
so funny.
still the steamroller.
That guy just didn't move.
He did warn
Also,
the guy.
thank you, Nicolas Cage, for the wonderful appearance.
Was that Nick Cage?
That was Nicolas Cage. Yes.
That's hilarious.
Just looking at him, you could see him screaming. Like you could tell. That's him.
All right. So yeah, I mean the trailer looked good. I don't have anything specific to say. I'm tired of all the people, like, if they cast somebody that has a different skin tone from how they originally were, that it's suddenly woke. Like, maybe the person is just a good actress. Why do we have to immediately jump into this woke nonsense? Jesus Christ.
I can
Anyway.
understand if the skin color has something to do with their character overall, but in this
Yeah.
case, it really doesn't. So, shut up.
Yeah, like it's not as important as it should be. I mean, I didn't hear people crying when they cast Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, because originally
Or
Nick
Uncle
Fury,
Sam.
that made sense. Sam Jackson. Anyway,
Uh,
no. So I didn't hear anybody. Oh no, trust me, there were definitely people crying and complaining about his Uncle Sam appearance and saying
Oh,
that he was basically a nicely dressed up version of his Django character, and I'm like, no, he is not Steven.
no?
Those are two completely different characters.
Very different people.
Mhm.
Oof.
Anyway, yeah. So, people that don't get it, they don't get it, and there's no way we're ever gonna
Hi,
be able
Star.
to explain it. Hi. There's yes, we have the Nun of Nuggies.
Wait, hi.
Hi. The Nun. Of
How's everybody doing?
Apparently we're in kind of a chill, sleepy vibe today. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
yeah, it's good. It's good. I see it. Like,
Got
now
those
all I
deep
hear-
tones going. Got that smooth jazz playing.
Smooth jazz. We're talking about the How to Train Your Dragon trailer that dropped this week.
Oh,
The live action How to
nice.
Train Your Dragon trailer. Did you get a chance
Oh.
to see it?
no, but I hope it's good. I really
Um,
do.
So far,
hope
it
it
looks
looks
like
good.
an exact 1-for-1 recreation of the
Ooh.
original,
Isn't a bad thing.
which is no, it's not a bad thing. Why mess up the formula? And I mean, considering it's the
Mhm.
same director and that Gerard Butler is actually playing Stoic as well, so the voice actor for Stoic and is also the actor for Stoic, so that's pretty good. I'm just a
Nice.
little sad that I finally saw what's his name? The Stoic's buddy, the one that can change out his hand all the time. And it's not
Oh.
Craig
Robert.
Ferguson.
Yeah,
and I'm
it's
really
not.
sad.
I am too.
Craig Ferguson made that character.
Nobody's ever
Mhm.
faced one and lived to tell the tale. Now get back to it.
The other thing that I really liked, or the other thing that kind of threw me off was Rough Nut and Tough Nut, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think the girl is actually a bit thicker than her.
A bit.
I was being polite, but yes, um, the proportions of one of the characters is very different than its animated counterpart. That's all I'm saying. But to be fair, it's Vikings, and they did have big beefy girls,
Yes,
so maybe that's what they're pushing. I don't know.
probably.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not upset about the change. It's just.
I mean, all the
this-
dragons look exactly how they're supposed to. They just look way more realistic. That's it.
Mhm.
They just up the realism filter on the dragons. The models are exactly the same, and that's
Yep.
great.
Put a bit more time and effort on the skins and
Yeah.
shading.
So, like I said, I'm
Nice.
looking forward to watching this. I just haven't seen anything that they've revealed from any of the teasers or trailers that would make me want to spend movie theater ticket money. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Outside of that, I think we're okay. All right. So, moving on to another animated to live action thing, we had a TV spot for Stitch, and I really enjoyed this because they made it look like Stitch was just running around the field and causing mayhem and everything, and then he gets a hold of the microphone and says "Riga Nani Krista." It was so freaking funny. I'm like, yeah, this is absolutely Stitch. He's a menace. And it's like he's suddenly driving one of the carts around on the field. No idea how, since he's not touching the pedals. But you know what? Whatever. It's Stitch being a menace. It's exactly what you would expect, and
It's
yeah, I love it.
it's very reminiscent of when they first when they were first teasing like the animated one, and
Yeah.
it'd be like Stitch in like different Disney movies.
Yeah, it has that vibe. I miss those. I love when
I miss those a
when he
lot.
would just interrupt others. Like he just showed up. He showed up in his car and just stole Jasmine from Aladdin.
Uh-huh.
That
So
was
good.
amazing.
It was so good. Yeah, it has this vibe, and I'm here for it.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm down. I'm down. It's
I'm
very,
I'm
very
just
funny.
concerned about what the movie's actually gonna be, though.
I hope it's close to the original.
Don't we all?
Save the world once. Convinced aliens that mosquitoes were an endangered species. Fucking love that. That was so stupid. Wasn't that Ving Rhames that did that voice?
I think.
Yeah. But yeah, the TV spot looked
Who are
adorable.
you?
And if
The stupid head.
the stupid head. All right. So this is very much the vibe that I would expect from Stitch. So if this is the vibe they're going for with their live action, I'm here for it. Like
Most
again,
definitely.
I don't think it's movie theater money, but I definitely would watch the hell out of it in streaming.
Mm-hmm.
All right. On to the next thing. Okay, updates on Masters of the Universe live action. Morena Baccarin. For those of you who want to go old school with me, you may remember her from the days of Firefly. Or if you want to go a bit more modern, Deadpool's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
But Morena Baccarin has officially been cast as the sorceress.
She has a
for the
thing to
live
bang
action He-Man.
prostitutes.
Here's my other thing. All right. Pictures have started to come out, and the first pictures that came out from the filming, the guy playing Adam / He-Man very much looks the part. The sword is exactly how it's supposed to look. He's being arrested on Earth. Why are we doing this He-Man on Earth shit again? It didn't work for the first one. Why would we do it again for the second live action film? This has me a little disappointed. I was hopeful, but then yeah. So Amazon is rebooting the Masters of the Universe with an upcoming live action movie. The film, which stars Nicholas Galitzine as He-Man, has 2 new cast members. Per deadline, Masters of the Universe added Morena Baccarin and Johan Hakur Johansson to the cast. Baccarin is known for her role as Vanessa in the Deadpool franchise, while Johansson
Dan
played,
Poole.
huh?
Dan Poole.
Okay, while Johansson played Olaf Haraldsson in Vikings, as well as Oscar Gudjonsson in Succession. Okay, so he's in Succession. In the upcoming live-action adaptation of Masters of the Universe, Baccarin will play the Sorceress, and Johansson is set to play Malcolm, or AKA Fisto. Yeah, there are a lot of jokes about that name. We'll set them aside for now. For those that need a recap, we've got Nicholas Galitzine as He-Man. Camila Mendez from Riverdale will be playing Tila. Allison Brie will be playing Evelyn. For those who haven't seen Community, please go watch Community. Allison Brie is great in that. Jared Leto will be playing Skeletor. Idris Elba will be playing Duncan / Man-at-Arms. And Sam C. Wilson will be Trapjaw. Hafthor Bjornsson will be Goatman. And Kojo Ata as Triclops. The film is being directed by Bumblebee's Travis Knight. And it's from a script by Chris Butler with a first draft by David Callahan and Aaron and Adam D. There we go. So the Bumblebee
Are they
director.
knights? Are Aaron and Adam knights by chance?
No, don't you dare. Don't you dare. All right, on to the next one. We're going to talk about Omniscient Reader, and you're the one that pushed this one, so you get to talk about it, man. I don't know
Upcoming
anything
film
about
on
this.
Omniscient Reader, also known as Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, has released its first trailer and poster. Based on the popular web novel of the same name, Omniscient Reader will tell the story of
Okay, hang on a second.
Dok-cha.
Am I having internet issues, or are you having internet issues? For some reason, you
I
were
don't
roboting a
know.
little bit.
It might just be me then, because you've been coming in just fine.
Okay. Moon, does it sound like he's got like a little bit of robotiness to his voice?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so it's not just me. Okay. We'll try to go through it. We'll try to go through it regardless.
Who suddenly finds himself living in the world of a fantasy novel he was reading. Armed with the knowledge of what happened in the novel, Kim Dok-cha sets out to save the world from ending. Lee Min-ho stars as Yoo Jung-hyuk, the protagonist from the novel that Kim Dok-cha read. The new trailer begins with Kim Dok-cha reading a line from the first chapter of the novel. The subway stopped in the middle of Dongho Bridge. Then the text then becomes reality. The subway that Kim Dok-cha is riding stops exactly as described in the novel, and he realizes this is the same as the start of that novel. After the bridge collapses, Kim Dok-cha has a dramatic meeting with the once fictional Yoo Jun-hyuk, who asks him, "What are you?" The action-packed trailer then goes on to show glimpses of its star-studded cast, which includes Chae Soo-bin, Shin Seung-ho, Nana, and Blackpink's Jisoo. Meanwhile, the new poster for the film bears the tagline, "The world inside the novel becomes reality." Omniscient Reader will hit theaters in July 2025. In the meantime, check out the trailer and poster below.
You know what? If nothing else, that was entertaining just to be able to hear all of that. I don't know what's going on with the internet, because you were sounding fine before, and as soon as you start to read the article, it just starts becoming like, it almost sounds like you're reading it underwater, kind of.
A little bit.
Huh.
Yeah.
Let me check something then.
Yeah. Because technically the next topic is you too.
Is this better?
Slightly better, yeah.
Okay, and I don't know what the issue is then.
You want to drop out of Discord and come back in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. So yeah, guys, if you missed it, it's technically still up, but it's going to be gone pretty soon. We did a the debut streaming for the Konosuba one shot, which will be coming out tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're looking forward to that, Konosuba drops tomorrow. Ooh. Hello. Oh, hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can
Yes.
hear you.
Fucking hell.
For some reason, you jumped into the light novel and I dragged you down here.
I jumped in there to test if Discord was actually picking up my microphone.
Oh, you're still having the same problem. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Are you
It's not a fa-
downloading something or something?
No. All I have open is Discord and Opera.
Huh. Not sponsored, by the way, guys.
I wish.
it could be.
It's a fantastic browser.
All right. So, oh man, we'll try to get our way through
Okay.
this.
Yes, we shall try. Capcom debuted new trailers for the upcoming Onimusha Way of the Sword game and the remastered Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny during Sony's State of Play livestream on Wednesday. Way of the Sword is slated for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S, and PC via Steam in 2026.
Okay.
The remastered edition of Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny is slated for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Steam in 2025.
Okay.
And
We can
then
stop.
background.
We can stop it. Yeah, it's all background. So, I need to bring this up because this is a talking point we're gonna have for most of the gaming stuff. Yeah, the State of Play was on Wednesday, and it's not just me. It seems a lot of people felt it was very lackluster. They're like, "What the hell, PlayStation? This." You're like a lot of the trailers, like most of the trailers that anyone was really excited for, like that gaming project, were games that weren't even PlayStation exclusives. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
but we could play it on anything. What are you doing, PlayStation? Like, what are you
Yeah.
actually doing? Yeah, it was not.
PlayStation, are you okay?
Yeah, exactly.
In the past, the State of Play was always exclusives.
Oh my God, you're back.
Oh, sorry, I had to get more tea.
No, not that. Fenris, your voice is like the mic. Everything
We are
is
happy
back.
to have
It's
you
so
here,
good.
Star.
Yeah, we are happy to have you here.
What the actual fuck?
I don't know. It just went away.
It's because you didn't have to read the article anymore.
Somebody finally
That's it.
flushed the toilet, apparently, and then the internet was just back. I don't know. But yeah, the State of Play just seemed meh this time around. Also, like, again, Super Bowl commercials and State of Play, both of them were just meh this year. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Sometimes they have down years.
I could understand
Down
if it was a
years too.
down year, but just like nobody was talking about it at all. Normally, I at least hear about one or two that were like something that stood out. Nothing. Crickets.
You see,
Yeah.
it's now it's to the point now where whenever Sony announces a State of Play, everybody just assumes, oh, I wonder what remaster they're announcing this time.
Also true. Also true.
You're not wrong, yeah.
Like,
To be
don't
fair,
get me
some of the
wrong.
remasters are pretty good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't get me wrong. I loved Onimusha 1 and 2. I'm looking forward to the remaster of 2 because I spent so much time playing that game.
Also,
Because it is literally Resident Evil with samurai.
I have a negative bias towards PlayStation right now because I hate the fact that they have exclusivity when it comes to the Final Fantasy VII Remake franchise. Like, that's just stupid to me. I don't think it should be that way. And honestly, judging from their continued lackluster State of Plays, I'm just like, dude, why is Square even giving you this? Like, they should just be like, okay, it comes out on everything. We want we want to make as much money as possible. It's like, yeah, dude. Like,
Yeah, it was like initially I think it was like with Kingdom Hearts 3 where it was Sony exclusive for 6 months.
yeah. Well, for the 7 stuff, it's for a year, and then it finally comes out on PC, and that's it. They just finally drop it on PC.
Yeah, they just for some reason refused to launch it on Xbox.
No, I got you. Yeah, because 13 did so well on Xbox, That was the first time that they moved over. They had Final Fantasy on Xbox, and it was 13, and it did not go well. To be fair, that was not that was not the fault of the Xbox community. That was the fault of 13.
Yes, very much the fault of 13.
Yes. All right.
Mhm.
Next up, we have Moon talking to us about Sonic,
Yes.
also from the
Sonic
State of Play.
Racing. What?
Also from the State of Play.
Yeah. Sonic Racing Crossworlds game unveils trailer, closed network test. Sega unveiled during Sony's State of Play live stream on Wednesday the trailer for the Sonic Racing Crossworlds game slated for PlayStation 5, 4, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, Switch, PC, on Steam and Epic stores. Jesus. Sega also announced a closed network test from February 22nd to the 24th. Applications for the network tests are open until open now until February 18th. 6 courses will be available along with 5 crossworlds, 9 racers, 4 cars, worldwide matches, and customization. Sega released the Team Sonic Racing game in May 2021, physically
don't
and
need to go through the
digitally.
backstory. Yeah.
Just. But
So-
the trailer looks really fun.
Ooh.
I am very excited for this.
I don't
They
doubt
are
that.
integrating.
I don't doubt that. I'm just like, why was it at the State of Play if it's not a PlayStation exclusive? I'm just confused by that. That's all. But the game looks fun. I've never played a Sonic racing game. I'm not really into racing games per se. So,
Hey.
to be fair, Mario Kart is the most racing I've gotten. But yeah, Moon, you seem pretty excited.
I am.
Yeah.
So first of all, like it looks like they've got the whole thing from the movies where like the gold rings are also portals.
Oh,
And that's where the crossworlds thing comes from, because you're going across worlds with these portals. I don't necessarily know how they work, but I can think of some interesting mechanics or ideas. That's probably not what they went for, but it's still pretty cool. The carts look very interesting, and I'm interested to see what kind of unlocks they might have. But they have different modes, so it's similar to what they do in whatever the fuck it's called. Mario Kart, where it's like if the part of the track is in water, it transforms into a boat-looking thing. If part of the track requires you to fly, it turns into a plane-looking thing. And apparently, it's got an off-road mode because you turn into like a fucking monster truck-looking thing.
so it's sharing
And-
some of the game mechanics with recent Mario Karts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting looking. It looks gorgeous. All the maps they've showed off are amazing. Oh shit, that was something. I'm watching it as I'm talking about it.
No,
but
I've
two
got it
two
playing
important
in the background
things.
as you're doing it.
Yeah, 2 important things. A wisp, which is how that drill thing happened and was following him, and the hoverboard from Sonic Riders. So I'm just very intrigued by this. I really want to get this game. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
So there we are, guys. Alrighty. Moving on to the last bit of gaming info. No, we've got 2 more things of gaming info, and both of them are Fenris.
Yes.
right.
Nintendo
about it.
has secured what appears to be an anti-Palworld patent in the United States. This development suggests that the company's legal dispute with the Palworld maker could eventually go global. In September 2024, the Pokemon Company and Nintendo filed a joint lawsuit against Pocket Pair, alleging that Palworld infringes on multiple aspects of their intellectual property. The case was brought before the Tokyo District Court and has so far remained in Japan. However, Nintendo has since also filed to secure some of the disputed patents in the U.S. The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office has recently granted one such application. GamesFray reports, identified by U.S. patent number 12,220,638, the patent published on February 11th describes a gameplay system for capturing creatures. The invention is conceptually similar to USPTO patent yada 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 that Nintendo already secured at the tail end of 2024, with both of them being part of the patent family that's at the center of the Palworld lawsuit. The key difference between the December 31st and February 11th patents is that the former's creature capture system distinguishes between a first and second mode of operation. The, it describes one screen for aiming a device like a Pokeball, and another for capturing or battling a creature on a dedicated field. In contrast, the newly secured patent attempts to avoid this distinction by using different terminology, like replacing the phrase field character with virtual character. Games phrase patent analyst Florian Mueller notes that Pocket Pair could argue Palworld's creature capture mechanics don't fit the dual mode terminology from the older patent, which might be the reason why Nintendo has now moved to cast an even wider net by patenting a more abstract system. In a prior statement to Game Rant, Mueller characterized Nintendo's Palworld lawsuit as a clear-cut case of bullying. The fact that the gaming giant is currently in the process of securing patents at the center of its Japan-only dispute with Pocket Pair in the US could signal that it's considering taking the legal battle global. Whether it actually decides to do so will presumably depend on the outcome of its recent stateside patent applications. Now, not all of Nintendo's anti-Palworld US patent applications have been successful. In early 2024, the USPTO rejected one of them on 32 out of 33 claims. The remaining claim describes a system for switching mountable virtual creatures on the fly while the player character is riding them. The USPTO stated that this invention would be allowed if submitted independently. In early February 2025, a Nintendo attorney requested an interview with a patent examiner to argue this case in greater detail and attempt to get more of its claims granted.
Yeah, this is just Nintendo like trying to put Palworld out of business is what this feels like. Straight up bullying,
or at least take Palworld down. I mean, let's face it, Pocket Pair is already focusing on a horror game and are backing many indie developers.
Yeah, but they're at the same time they're still very much going forward on Palworld as well.
Yes, but I'm just saying, like, they're not focusing solely on Palworld anymore.
Also true. Well,
Mm-hmm.
but a
I
lot
also
of their
find it
resources,
funny how
the majority of their resources are still in Palworld.
I just find it funny how 32 out of 33 claims were rejected.
Yeah, that is. I mean that says everything right there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, any self-respecting judge would look at it and see the times that the patents were released versus when the game came out and would throw it out if they were a self-respecting judge. It's like you can't try to do a retroactive patent. It's like the game came out before you filed the patent. Then they're infringing upon nothing. Get out of my courtroom. It should just it should be that cut and dry, but obviously it probably isn't. It's tied up in a bunch of meaningless jargon and red tape and all sorts of other stuff. So we're in for a while, guys.
Yes.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yep. All right. So yeah, Deep Rock Galactic. Tell us about this.
This is a Kickstarter for the mugs from the bar in the game. They hold 16.9 fluid ounces, are made of high quality food safe plastic, which is kind of a turnoff for me. Hot and cold liquids, alcohol of your choice. They're dishwasher and microwave safe, but still no throwing in the launch bay. So, if you are a big fan of Deep Rock Galactic or a miner of any choice, I would recommend backing this and getting your own tavern mug.
As a child, I yearn for the mines.
Yes.
All right.
And you can bring it to work and shout rock and stone and get weird looks by anybody who doesn't understand.
I just like cups that are microwavable safe.
Yeah, it's just Nintendo doing Nintendo. That's true. All right, I'm going to take a look. Hi, Sky.
I don't know if they are.
PlayStation just
They
needs
look
to
like
get
they might
good.
be 3D
Oh,
printed.
they are
so might not
microwave
be.
safe. They're
Yeah.
microwave safe according to what they advertise.
Good.
Sky Daddy says that Sony doesn't get enough contracts for IPs, and they have to resort to non-exclusive to fill time. They imagine. Dinosaurs in Sonic was crazy, despite seeing the time god in Sonic Generations. I'm assuming that's what Brandon said. And Sky Daddy says it's just Nintendo going Nintendo. So yeah, GoFundMe fundraiser for Crunchyroll. Okay. So let's move on to the anime block. Let's do this. This is yours, Fenris. Man, you've got like 3 more that you've got to cover. There's this and 2 Gundams.
3 Gundams.
3 Gundams. Jesus. I thought I put all the
Unless
Gundam stuff together. Dang it.
Gun damn.
one's a game. One's a game to our show.
Yeah.
Unless Sky wants to take all the, or not Sky. Star. Sorry, Fuck, I really need to get back to bed. Unless Star wants to take all the Gundam.
You want to take Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, I can take. I can take Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Where are
Ooh.
you?
Oh, please let this be good. A lot of this stuff's been bad lately. Headline first, right?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Scooby-Doo is getting its own anime, and it could mean big things for Hollywood. Yay.
Yay. And there was much rejoicing.
Yeah.
Hey.
There have been countless iterations of Scooby-Doo throughout the years, both cartoon and live action. Do I have to read all this part?
Yes.
Okay. Featuring crossovers with properties ranging from superheroes to rock stars. There's very little Mystery Inc. hasn't done or seen, yet its latest planned series is set to take Scooby and Shaggy on an adventure that will be entirely new to a franchise spanning over 50 years of releases. The upcoming Go-Go Mystery Machine, which was originally teased in June of 2024, is taking the iconic duo to Japan and will feature a heavily anime-inspired art style. Though the TV series will be all new, this isn't the first time Scooby-Doo has toyed around with the idea of introducing its insanely recognizable cast to the world of anime. A movie titled Scooby-Doo and the Anime Invasion was initially greenlit in the early 2000s before being canceled in its planning stages. However, fans will finally be able to experience the two worlds colliding, and the end product could mean big things for the future of anime in Hollywood.
Scooby-Doo and the Anime Invasion.
Yeah, I'm so glad that got canceled. That sounds ridiculous.
Is Scooby and Shaggy about to be isekai'd?
I mean, that'd be hilarious. No, all right. So this just reminds me when they said Scooby and Shaggy have been in all sorts of places, and I just thought about the Supernatural episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
They
I love that
truly
it's
have
called.
been everywhere.
I love that it's going to be called Go Go Mystery Machine.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
as
me think it's gonna be
opposed
like a
to-
Sentai something.
Yeah. Mako, go. Also, that doesn't look like the Mystery Machine. That looks like a truck. So
Truckoon, is that you?
literally, it's like they took the Mystery Machine and put it into one of those Japanese farm trucks that you see.
Also, is the Shiba Inu gonna talk as well?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
I hope so.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Tell us about Gundam Seed Battle Destiny.
Nope. Bandai Namco Entertainment announced on Thursday it will release the Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Battle Destiny remastered game in English for Nintendo Switch and PC via Steam on May 22nd. The release will mark the first English What? I'm sorry, I almost had an aneurysm reading that sentence. The release will mark the first English release of the game. Okay, I did not read that wrong the first time.
Okay.
Holy fuck. They apparently definitely needed their word count on this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
The remastered game will also release in Japan on May 22nd. The remaster will include enhanced visuals, a redesigned UI, and a new target lock-on mode. Bandai Namco Entertainment describes the game as a soldier in volatile times. Players must choose from one of the 3 factions, Earth Alliance, Zaft, or Archangel, to fight alongside in various story missions.
A soldier
on
in
the series.
volatile times. That's every single Gundam.
Nope. This
Okay.
isn't about a child soldier in volatile times.
Hold on. I take that back. Witch from Mercury wasn't a soldier, so
No, she was a very, very, I hate to say it, but very gullible
and adorable.
sheltered sheltered and adorable child.
Yeah, she was a very gullible, sheltered, and adorable lesbian. That's all.
Hmm.
That's all it was. Yeah.
That smashed a guy in front of her love, and then proceeded to hold out her hand while covered in the guy's blood.
we have
Best
to be
scene in
we have to
season
be
one.
careful about how we have to be careful about how we word that, because if you say smashed in front of their love, it gives a different connotation. That literally splatted a human being with their Gundam right in front of the girl she liked.
Yes.
Yes, there we go. She went splat.
Um,
Alrighty.
Yeah, the game originally released for
Oh.
the PlayStation Vita in 2012.
Okay. I had already clicked to the next tab. I'm sorry. I thought we were done.
It's okay.
All right.
It's more than okay.
I picked this one just because I liked I liked what I was seeing here. I was like, oh, this looks cute. I want to learn more about it. So we're going to be learning more about this one together. I left my A rank party anime cast Maria Shashide as Nene. Bandai Namco Filmworks revealed on Friday that Maria Sashide will be playing Nene in the television anime of Kosuke Unagi's I left my A rank party to help my former students reach the dungeon depths. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. This is out right now. I haven't checked it out yet. Light novel series. The character will appear in the show's 6th episode on Saturday. Little cat girl. Okay. So it wasn't new information. I thought they were talking about a show that was coming up. I apologize. My bad, guys. All right, so we'll move on to Webtoon info. Webtoon launches video contest with $200,000 US in prizes. Webtoon Entertainment Inc. has launched a Webtoon video contest inviting fans to create TikToks or YouTube shorts inspired by Webtoon originals for a chance to win cash prizes. The contest offers a total prize pool of up to $200,000 US with a $30,000 US grand prize. Hello, Joshua. Multiple $10,000 diamond prizes, $5,000 platinum prizes, and over 10,000 additional winners receiving cash or Webtoon coin packs. To participate, entrants must create a 1-minute video based on a selected Webtoon original series. Upload it to TikTok or YouTube Shorts and submit the link through the Webtoon video contest submission page. Submissions are expected in 6 categories: live action, animation, original music, explainer / recommendation, reactions, and wild card. Yes, certain magical index. Actually, funny you say that, because on the side, a certain scientific railgun anime just got confirmed for season 4. Full contest guidelines, including video and social post requirements, are available on the contest rule page. Participants can base their videos on the following titles: Bylin and Liyun, Castle Swimmer, Seed, Homesick, I'm the Queen in This Life, Jackson's Diary, Love for a Walk, Marionetta, Maybe Meant to Be, Omniscient Reader, which we talked about earlier, Operation True Love Ordeal, School Bus Graveyard, Teenage Mercenary, The Greatest Estate Developer, The Key Sisters, The Mafia Nanny, The Remarried Empress, Unordinary, Vampire Family, and Windbreaker. Oh, God, I didn't know Windbreaker was from this. Okay.
Yeah,
I was
Teenage
checking.
Mercenary was also a fantastic webtoon.
Well, I mean, I've seen if this is the one that I'm thinking it is, Windbreaker.
I think.
No, it is. No, it's not. Okay, I think it's something else then. Okay, it's
Yeah,
different. Yeah.
looks like cycling.
All right, so the contest opens on Friday, February 10th, which has already passed. And it's going to be at 6:01 Eastern or 3:01 Pacific, and closes on April 4th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific or 2:59 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, because we're going to be moving from standard time back to daylight, which is so stupid. Entries will be reviewed by a panel from Webtoon Entertainment, with winners announced in June of 2025. The Webtoon video contest follows other major contests from the platform, including the Webtoon Webcomic Legends contest and the Monster Hunter Wilds webcomic contest in collaboration with Capcom. All right. So yeah, there are links. I guess there's links to the submission page, and if you would like to participate, make sure to go check the link to this article below because we do link all of our sources right here. All right, Anime Go. Justin Savakis produced documentary interviews on Western anime industry figures. Anime Eagle announced on Monday that it is releasing The Anime Business, a documentary series of interviews with major figures in the Western anime industry. The trailer below features U.S. renditions Robert Napton, Central Park Media's John O'Donnell, and the Outblazers.com website's Tim Eldrin. Anime Ego will be releasing the series on its YouTube channel in the next few weeks, with new videos coming monthly. So this is kind of like the early days of trying to get anime on television in the States back in the day. And I thought that was pretty interesting. Like, at first I wasn't sure if I was going to put this in our news column, and then I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, that's actually kind of interesting. So, and I'm glad to know that it's going up on the YouTube page. So I'll be watching that later. But, yeah. Are any of you guys, pardon me, are any of you guys interested in learning about how hard of a job it was to try and push anime into the market back in the day?
Kind of.
Like if it wasn't for this stuff, we
I've heard
probably
from
wouldn't have
some
gotten
people.
Dragon Ball Z and the birth of anime explosion here in the U.S. What'd you say, Fenris? I'm sorry, I talked over you.
I've heard about it from several people that I talked to,
Gotcha.
especially my voice coach.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we're moving on. Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, the super live-action stage show, adds performances in Los Angeles and Seattle. Producers Mokoto Matsuda and Kumiko Yoshi announced on Thursday that Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, the Super Live, a performance show based on Naoko Takeuchi's Sailor Moon manga, will add 3 performances to its North American tour. The first 2 additional shows will be at the Music Center's Ahmanson Theater in Los Angeles on March 22nd at 2 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. General public ticket sales will begin on January 28th, with pre-sales beginning on Tuesday, February 25th. The other new show will run at the Paramount Theater in Seattle, Washington on March 26th at 7:30 p.m., which is a second performance for the city. Ticket sales for the new showtime open for the general public on February 13th. Here are the current North American tour dates. March 12th, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. March 15th, Austin, Texas. March 18th, San Antonio, Texas. March 19th, Sugar Land, Texas. March 22nd, Los Angeles, California. March 25th and 26th, Seattle, Washington. March 27th, Spokane, Washington. March 29th, Portland, Oregon. April 1st, Dallas, Texas. April 3rd, Midland, Texas. April 6th, Minneapolis, Minnesota. April 8th, St. Louis, Missouri. April 11th, Dayton, Ohio. Why are they going to the place that doesn't exist? April
I'm
13th.
sending this over to my sisters.
April 13th, Louisville, Kentucky. April 15th, Chicago, Illinois. April 16th, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. April 18th, Newark, New Jersey. April 22nd, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And April 25th through the 26th in New York. No love for the Southeast, I see. The closest is going to be Louisville, Kentucky. So, yeah.
I want to go see it.
Yeah, I kind of do too. My thing is the entire thing in Japanese? Like what's going on here?
Don't know.
I can't tell. Like, are they bringing like the full Japanese stage play over here? with the Japanese cast? Is it going to be?
Maybe.
I'm just curious about the particulars. I'm not
Mm.
overly worried. I was like, huh, is it going to be in the Japanese language or is it not? But yeah, I guess we'll find out. Hey, if you go and see this, tell us about it. We want to know. You know, if anybody goes and
Ooh.
sees it, please let us know. We're curious to hear your thoughts. Okay, we got double Gundam news coming up.
Bow, 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 bow.
Go for it, Fenris.
I had to close all these tabs real quick.
I love that you
Too
saw
many
that. And you were like, it's
tabs.
going to be in Minneapolis. I have to tell my sisters.
And I may or may not have just booked 3 tickets.
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
That's good. I love it.
Well, we're trying to get my niece to watch Sailor Moon, so
Oh, okay. There we go.
Gotta get them while they're young.
Hook them while they're young.
she just turned 11 2 days ago.
That's
Oh,
still
that's
young.
prime. That's prime Sailor Moon age right there.
Sailor Moon and My Hero Academia. That's
Exactly.
your gateways. Those are your gateway
We
drugs.
tried getting her to watch My Hero. She did not like it.
Oh,
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
maybe Sailor Moon might be
Are
the
there
ticket.
particular genres? Are there particular genres that you know that she likes? Because there's an anime.
Oh,
for
she
every genre.
absolutely loves Fairy Tale, and she is watching Dr. Stone and has actually taken some of my nuclear science books and reading them.
My God,
Ooh.
that's awesome. Okay, never mind. You've got a weeb there. It's great. You're good.
Like
A
I'm
little weeb.
11
in the
years
making.
old and already studying nuclear science. I'm just like, how the
Yeah.
fuck? are
She's
you
the little
related to
girl.
me?
She's the little girl that Jay would shoot in the head in Men in Black. Those books
Yes.
are way too
Yeah.
advanced for her. Girl, look, a little white girl walking around middle of the ghetto this time of night.
It's
Walking
weird being
around
able
with
to sit
nuclear
down.
quantum physics.
It's weird being able to sit down and just talk to her about about nuclear science, and she would be asking me questions. I ask her stuff, she answers, and it's just like, the fuck.
Hey, she's got priorities. Gotta
She's got
appreciate that.
priorities. Yeah.
There's 20-year difference.
So
And I'm trying, and now I'm just like, okay, I'm finding more shit like this and buying it for her birthday and Christmas. I
Gotta
don't care
nurture
what her
that love.
I don't care what her parents want her to be. I'm gonna push her into something like that.
I mean, if she's got a keen eye for it, might as well.
all right, let's
She's
continue
she's
on.
picking up on a lot of stuff. Anyway, Mobile
You got
Suit Gundam
G-Quacks
G-Quacks
news.
beginning. G-Quacks. The ANN cannot figure out which of the two it actually is. Yeah, the Mobile Suit Gundam G-Quacks beginning anime film dropped from number 2 to number 4 in its 4th weekend at the Japanese box office. The film sold 112,000 tickets for about $1.24 million from Friday to Sunday. The film has sold a total of 1.38 million tickets for a cumulative total of about $14.62 million. The film has now surpassed the total all-time Japanese earnings of Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway, which earned about 14.29 million at the Japanese box office. This makes the Gundam G-Quacks film the 3rd highest earning film in the Gundam franchise in Japan, with Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Freedom holding the all-time high of 31.05 million as of its final weekend in May 2024. If Gundam Seed Freedom special edition screenings later in 2024 are included, the film has earned about $34 million. The 1982 Mobile Suit Gundam 3 Encounters in Space anime film ranks number 2 with about $14.88 million. The Gundam G-Quacks film debuted at number 1 at the Japanese box office in its opening weekend. It sold 352,500 tickets and earned about $3.83 million in its first 3 days. The film opened in Japan on January 17th. Immersive MX4D and 4DX screenings will start on February 22nd. The story of G-Quacks is a re-edited version of the first 4 episodes of the upcoming
On the second
anime.
one?
Still on the first one.
Okay.
Almost done.
It sounded like we
Centers on
started the new one. Sorry.
It centers on Amate Yuzuriha, a high school student living peacefully in a space colony floating in outer space, when she meets a war refugee named Nian. Amate is drawn into the illegal mobile suit dueling sport known as Clan Battle. Under the entry name Machu, she throws herself into fierce battle day after day, piloting the G-Quacks. Then an unidentified Gundam, pursued by both the Space Force and the police, appears before her, along with its pilot, a boy named Shuji.
So
That's the first one.
they haven't figured out whether it's Quacks or Quacks.
ANN cannot figure that out now.
We need to get to the crux of the problem. Are you gonna do that every time we say the name?
Say what name?
Exact. No.
Say what name?
There's no bait. You're not baiting me like that. I'm the master of baiting. Okay.
G-Kids began streaming on Tuesday an English subtitled trailer for the aforementioned Gundam anime. A re-edit, I just read all that shit from the last one. G-Kids acquired theatrical distribution rights, and it will screen the film in theaters in North America on February 28th. This marks the first collaboration between G-Kids and Bandai Namco Filmworks. Everything else is from the first article.
Apparently, it's going to get an IMAX release. That was the only part that I was like, oh, hey. So.
Oh, god damn it. The next one's also mine.
Have fun. You. This is what happens when you submit too many things.
This is what happens when I actually find decent stuff that I want to talk about or that's pertinent to the anime industry. Major anime streaming service Crunchyroll has been accused of ostracizing and failing to respond to the verbal abuse of an employee with a mental health diagnosis before later firing him from the company. A post from former Crunchyroll senior software engineer Sean Hoffman details serious allegations regarding his treatment following his mental health struggles. Hoffman shared on LinkedIn that his mother was diagnosed with terminal cancer, making 2024 the hardest year of his life. After Hoffman shared his diagnosis of anxiety and major depressive disorder with the company, he alleged that instead of support, he received hostility and was met with ostracization, verbal abuse, and later termination. His statement can be read on LinkedIn or below. You can click on the link to follow. Per Hoffman's timeline, he approached Crunchyroll for ADA accommodations for employees with specific needs. After his diagnosis, at some point in the future, he was cursed out by a manager for an unstated reason and received an extremely obscene gesture during a workplace call. As shown above, the gesture was a middle finger. He documented and reported the incident but says no corrective action was taken, instead himself receiving blowback which was subtle at first, then more overt. After raising concerns about his treatment, Hoffman says Crunchyroll made the decision to terminate my employment, citing a policy violation, and was allegedly offered severance in exchange for not going public about his treatment. CBR reached out to Crunchyroll for comments. This related to Sean's allegations, any investigation into whether proper protocols regarding his situation were followed, any review into whether current protocols were fit for purpose, and the investigation into the alleged manager's actions. However, as of writing, CBR has received no response. Per Hoffman's LinkedIn, his contributions to the company included updates to Crunchyroll's video encoding, anti-piracy efforts, building Crunchyroll CDN, and involvements in the launch of the Kaiju No. 8 livestream and Dragon Ball Daima simulcast. 5 months ago, he thanked colleagues at Crunchyroll for their support during his mother's battle with cancer. He lays the blame for his subsequent treatment with HR and leadership. Hoffman's post grows even more concerning following multiple recent allegations of hostile working conditions at Crunchyroll. Voice actor David Wald accused the company of going through his fan mail without his knowledge, disposing and distributing the contents among themselves. He announced that he would never work for the company again, leaving behind his role as Gajeel in the popular fairy tale anime series. Crunchyroll announced it was investigating in October, but but has not made its findings public as of February 8th, 2025.
Yeah, this is one of those
Furthermore,
things. This is one of those things that's just absurd. Well, we investigated ourselves and we found no wrongdoing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Furthermore,
we can't trust them.
Furthermore, a bombshell Bloomberg report that interviewed multiple Crunchyroll former and current staff found that company morale has fallen, citing execs who are out of touch and multiple rounds of layoffs. Some reports regarding tension post Crunchyroll and Funimation appear to have been backed up by recent comments from a Crunchyroll vice president. She said, we have been working hard to bridge the gap between two teams with similar but different philosophies to bring them together. Thanks to each member respecting our differences, understanding and executing their respective roles, we're finally able to start functioning as one team.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't sound like it.
No, no, it does not.
All right, and now we're going to talk about Netflix making more moves in this industry. Netflix has added the 2006 live-action series based on Tomoko Ninomiya's Nodame Cantabile manga and both seasons of Dr. Koto's Clinic, the live-action television adaptation of Takatoshi Yamada's Dr. Koto's Clinic manga. The service also added live-action Inheritance detective series based on Yumie Nishiogi and Yo Ikuta's Sozuku Tante, also known as the Hyena has seven lives. I almost read that as Henya has seven lives. I was like, maybe she
Yeah.
does.
Isn't that hyena?
Maybe hyena. The hyena has seven lives. No, it's Henya. It's Henya has seven lives. I'm just down with that now.
Yes, the kettle has 7 lives. We all know
Exactly.
Mm.
Retro Crush is also streaming the live-action Nodame Cantabile series. Crunchyroll previously streamed the series, and it described the story. So, yeah, I have watched both the anime and the live-action. They're both very good. Noda Megumi, also known as Nodame, is a weird freewheeling piano student at Momogao School of Music. She meets a well-to-do elite piano student, Chiaki Shinichi, who aspires to become a conductor. And the time they spend studying music, playing in orchestras, and practicing for competitions, the two make friends with an assortment of eccentric musicians. Like, I'm not kidding. This is really, really cute. Like, it's really good series. I basically grabbed this because I wanted to plug Nodame Cantabile, or Cantabile, or however you pronounce it. But like, if you could find the anime, watch that, and if you want to watch the live action on Netflix, please do. It's very good. I don't really know enough to further talk about the other two, and I kind of want to get to our last two topics because they're exciting, especially for Moon Moon, who now has context for now has more context for one of them.
Mm.
So Moon, I'd like you to read this next one.
All right. Bocchi the Rock anime gets second season with a new director. Yay. The Kesoki Band tour We Will Be announced with a teaser video on Saturday that production of the second Bocchi the Rock anime season has been greenlit. The video reveals the new season's main staff. Yusuke Yamamoto, Lord, I can't read today, who is the Bocchi the Rock assistant director and episode director, replaces Keiichiro Saito as the director of the new season at Cloverworks. Erika Yoshida returns to write the scripts, and Keito Oda, the Bocchi the Rock key animator, joins Kerorida in designing the characters. Oda drew the following illustration to celebrate the news. And it's Bocchi with sunglasses. Oh, showing the trailer here. The anime adapts Aki Hamaji's 4-panel manga Bocchi the Rock, which follows Hitori Bocchi-chan, Loner Goto, a lonely high school girl whose heart lies in her guitar. She does nothing every day except strum her guitar by herself at home. However, she happens one day to meet Mijika Ijichi.
my guy.
who
You don't
is
have to read
looking
that.
for a
Most people
guitarist
are
for her
familiar.
group named Kazoku Band. I wanted to finish the paragraph, okay? I was already mostly through it.
I'm excited for this. I'm really happy that it got a season 2. Bocchi the Rock is so
Yes.
good. Yeah.
It is
I need to
hilarious.
watch it.
It's really good.
If you have anxiety at all, you're gonna relate to Bocchi so hard. Yeah.
So much.
Oh,
I loved Gigix thing. He's like, oh my god, she's like me for real, but I don't want to admit it. It's so funny. All right. And then last but not least, we have casting announcements for the beginning after the end.
Yay!
The beginning after the end anime cast Kana Ichinose and Chiaki Omigawa. The official website for the television anime adaptation of Turtle Me's The Beginning After the End web novel and its webcomic adaptation revealed 2 more cast members on Friday. Kana Ichinose is Tessia Aerolith, a young elf girl captured by slave traders. Yep, Tess.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the description we'll go with, sure.
It's the yeah. Well, to
Yeah.
be fair, that is what happened in the beginning with Tess. Like
Yes.
Tess is like a main character, so she's like
Oh yes.
all over the place. And then Chiaki Omigawa as Jasmine Flamesworth, a silent dual-wielding adventurer. Yeah, Jasmine.
Yeah.
That's so cool. The anime will debut in April on Fuji TV's Plus Ultra programming block. Crunchyroll will stream the anime worldwide, excluding Asia, but including India. The anime, which is billed as Season 1, will have 24 episodes. Tapas has stated the anime will be the first anime adaptation of an American web novel and webcomic. The anime will star Natsumi Fujiwara as Arthur and Makoto Furukawa as Gray. What about when Arthur grows into a big boy, like featured right here? Who's gonna voice Did? Because can't stay a child voice forever. Anyway, if you don't know about
I
it,
mean, they're kind of keeping the child voice for Rudius, so
it doesn't quite work. Yeah, but Rudius is way more effeminate than Arthur.
we'll see what they do. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all we can say.
Yeah, that's it. Alrighty, that covers all of the stuff. I'm just really excited for both of those coming up. And now we're gonna move on to reviewing anime. Yay! So spoiler tag's not up yet, but there will be a spoiler tag if you have not watched the newest, or except for Zenshu. We're covering last week's episode of Zenshu. But if you have not watched the newest episodes of Blue Box, sorry. Blue Box, Apothecary Diaries, Season 2, and Solo Leveling, and Zenshu, last week's episode of Zenshu, we're going to be talking about those episodes, rating them, and reviewing them. So spoilers abound as soon as the tag goes up. So if you don't want to get spoiled on these things, we absolutely understand. Thank you guys so much for coming by and hanging out with us for this bit of the news. Don't forget, in about 2 hours and 45 minutes from now, we'll be live on Twitch reading the Solo Leveling manhwa. So if you'd like to join us for that, make sure to come over to our Twitch channel. Link is in the description below. That being said, thank you guys so much, and we understand if you have to leave now because you don't want to get spoiled.
Yes.
That being said, spoiler tag is going up. Bam! All right, so Blue Box, let's talk about that. This episode was more sports than romance, and I'm so here for it. This is very much a sports-centric episode of Blue Lock. Because Taiki got to face off against his first-year rival from the other school.
That was last week's episode.
That's the most recent episode that came out. I didn't see episode 20 on here. I went to Netflix.
most
They did not
recent
show me episode 20.
I'm sorry to say that is not the most recent episode. The most recent episode, the Culture Festival's going down. Like, it's happening.
I don't
They're
have access
there.
to that.
Okay, that's a problem.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why it's showing me. Like, it would not let me. Yeah. It's saying that episode 20 is not available until February 20th. I've Got Plans is the most recent episode. Were you using a VPN?
No.
Then I don't understand how you got access to this a week early.
Hold on. Let me. I got. Grab that remote. Give me a second, because I'm not sure it was episode 20, but.
Oh, I may have been watching episode 18. My bad.
You might have.
Damn it. Okay, so go ahead with the newest episode. I freaking watched the old one, thinking it was the new one. Dadgummit.
Yeah, so. Okay, anyways. So, what happened in this episode, actually, was we're at the Culture Festival.
I was so looking forward to talking about that episode, too.
Yeah, well. Sorry. But the Culture Festival's finally going down. Taiki actually did win that match that Richie was talking about and bringing up.
He didn't
but
win the match.
Culture-
He just won. He won one round from it.
Either way, he still got a win.
Yeah.
A win is a win. It's not an overall win, but he should feel happy about it, and I'm sure he does. But we're at the Cultural Festival now, and everyone's doing stuff. Things are going down. The stage play is they thought it was going to be at 3:40, but then apparently there was a typo, so it's actually supposed to be at 3:30, and boy, that sucks, but at least it's only 10 minutes and not like an hour or something. Even though the gym is closed for the Culture Festival and everything, Taiki still is like, yeah, I'm going to go out on a run. His mom is sitting there. It's like, you can take a fucking break, kid. And he's like, no. So he starts running. He's on his run. He sees Chinatsu out there playing some basketball on an outdoor field. And he's like, oh, hi, Chinatsu. Hi, how's it going, Taiki? Hey, you could take a break for once. Huh. Are you sure you haven't heard that before? She didn't say that, but I thought it. But yeah, she says the same thing. It's like, nah, I'm just gonna keep practicing, So they do. They keep going. But Chinatsu says there's a band that's gonna be performing at 2 on the day of the Culture Festival, and she asks if Taiki wants to go with her and see it. So she asked him on somewhat of a date. How nice. And of course, he's like, holy crap, yes! And, they continue. And then later we get back to the Culture Festival. There's a bunch of stuff going on. Apparently, one of the other guys that was at the, not the practice round, but the tournament that Taiki was at was there. The guy that he made a bet with, that guy would be able to get Chinatsu's number, which, no. But he's there, and he's like, hey, you think you can tell me where her class is? Why? What? You won, so I didn't get her number. No. They start having a little spat, and then Taiki's senpai, or whatever his fucking name was, the dude above him, I think he's in class 2 or 3.
Haru or Haku?
Yeah, Haru.
Haru, yeah.
Haru shows up with his girlfriend, and they're sitting there. It's like, what are you two arguing about? Something about... I forget how they respond, but then they're like, oh, just follow us. We're on our way there. Oh, why? Because it's a cafe. So they go there, and it's sure enough a mega cafe.
Yeah.
Chinatsu's all done up in a maid uniform. She wasn't supposed to be, but someone called out. Keep that in mind for later. Someone called out, and she had to pick up the slack. So she was helping serving. She was in the maid outfit. And, of course, Taiki and the other guy, they're just awestruck by this. The other guy, he can't hold out. It's too cute. His heart, it's stomping. He's on his knees. Taiki's sitting there. It's like, she's too cute. Homeboy on his knees is like, how are you standing? Are you kidding? I can barely hold out right now. It was funny. So they're sitting there serving, and this little cute moment happens. They're all sitting at a table. Chinatsu comes up, but she's behind Taiki, so he she can't see his face. So if she's not sure if he's there or not, she's talking to Haryu's girlfriend, who she's a friend with. And Haryu's girlfriend's sitting there. It's like, oh, by the way, there's going to be this fashion show. It's happening at 2. You want to go see that? And Chinatsu's like, nah, I've got plans at 2. Of course, this makes Taiki just kind of shoot over the moon. He jumps up and is like, I'm sorry, I have to leave. He runs out of the classroom because you could see by the way he's shaking. It's like, I could have cried. I'm going to heaven. He's having a good time. He's having a damn good time. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna wait for her. We're gonna get to see this show. It's gonna be great. So he goes, he waits outside the auditorium next to the sign. He's waiting there for a bit. They show a couple scenes of him, waiting anxiously. And then he's like, oh, what if she's already inside? Oh, no. He goes in and can't seem to find her. He's sitting at the back, and he's like, oh, no. Oh. The show starts. The band introduces themselves. And he's like, oh, well, at least I'm getting excited for the music, so this ought to be pretty fun. And then he feels a hand grab him. Chinatsu was a little late because the person who was supposed to take over for her was late. So they get to watch the show. They're having a good time. Inomata says something, and Taiki, that's his name. Taiki says something, and it wasn't anything too important, but Chinatsu couldn't hear it because obviously the music's loud. So she just makes a simple hand gesture. It's like, what was that? So tells her. And is like, oh, yeah, this is great. We're having a good time. And then at one point, Taiki ends up asking, why did you want to come see this with me? She answered. He couldn't hear it because of the music. So he asked, what did you say? She tried answering again. But at that point, the guitar just played a little bit too loud. So he missed it again. And so he asked again. It's like, I'm sorry, could you say that one more time? Tried doing the same hand gestures like she did, but she just said, don't worry about it. We'll talk about it later. Oh, okay. So then they leave, and the show's over and everything. They had a good time. They're talking about it, and Taiki asks again. It's like, by the way, what was it you were trying to say back there? She doesn't respond to that question at all. She's just like, oh, I can't wait to see your shows. And he's like, oh, well, I'm not in it, right? I was just the director. And she's like, yeah, I know, but you still had a big part in it. So it's going to be great to see the fruit of your labor. And he's like, oh, that's sweet. And then the shoe drops. He goes back to his classroom because they're all getting ready. What's her face? Hina. She's all dressed up in her beautiful Snow White outfit. She looks lovely. And the guy who was supposed to play the prince called out. In walks our boy just at the right moment for someone to look at him and say, hey, I have an idea. And he's just, huh? Huh? And that's where it cuts off. Next episode's going to be a doozy.
So how do you rate this episode?
This was a very cute one. This was a very fun one. I'd rate it probably at good 8 out of 10. Good 8 out of 10.
Okay.
A lot of good vibes out of this one.
Okay. Let's move on to Apothecary Diaries, which I am actually caught up on. So there we go.
You now?
Yeah. The most recent episode was there was a sick girl that was hidden in a storage.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
That's the right one.
that was hidden in storage, and then the amount of deduction going on was just insane. This one. Go ahead, Moon. Let's talk. Let's describe this episode, and then we'll talk a bit about what we thought.
Okay, so with this episode, I gotta remember how it started. I remember all the meaty bits, but I can't remember how it started. I've got Crunchyroll pulled up. Let me just take a look at it real quick. As soon as I see it, it'll help me remember. Help the memories flow. Not season 1, season 2. It was the Crystal Pavilion for the third time. Oh yeah. So one of the ladies from I forgot her name. basically one of the ladies in waitings that she usually works with. She was coming down with something, and she went to the clinic. That is, should be noted, is mostly ran by older ladies who do know a thing or two about medicine, but cannot actually practice medicine because that is illegal.
Yeah.
Hooray for before times.
Yeah, which is funny because they're turning a blind eye to Mao Mao, and the Emperor knows, and he's just like, yeah, let her keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But if it did become a big thing, it could become a scandal and cause problems.
This
so that's
Emperor
why.
seems to be like less on the traditions that are holding back their civilization, and is like, all right, we're just gonna not say anything about it and let it happen because this is important, this is useful, we need this to happen.
Mhm.
It's almost like the Emperor has his own groove.
God damn it!
I'm sorry, but you threw off the Emperor's groove.
Here's a llama. There's
Anyway.
a llama everywhere. Anyway.
Llama, llama,
Llama, llama.
llama.
Llama,
Anyways, so the old lady who was at the clinic, the nurse, she saw this lady in waiting taking some medicine that Mao Mao brought her.
Yeah,
And
got
she
busted.
requests, she requests for Mao Mao to come to the clinic to be talked to about something. At first, everyone's a little concerned, like, oh no, this is bad. She got caught. Oh no, she's not supposed to be practicing medicine. This is a problem. But Mao Mao's sitting there a little more level-headed. It's like, well, I mean, she currently just wants to talk, so we'll see what comes out of this. So she goes, she talks. And the nurse there is like, yeah, I don't really care. You do you, but I am concerned about this one thing that you might be able to check in on me. There was a lady, another lady in waiting from a different concubine, who had come in and was sick for a bit. And she had terrible symptoms. It was a very bad cough and a fever. And she was brought in, but only for a little bit, and then she was taken away, and she has not heard nor seen from this lady in waiting since. And that was, I think it was about a month or two ago. So she was concerned and was wanting to see if Mao Mao could actually check in on that. Mao Mao immediately had some ideas. First of all the ladies in waiting wear specific clothing, and I do believe that it was described, at least from which pavilion she came from. And so Mao Mao's immediately sitting there like, well, that don't sound good. So she starts doing a little bit of digging. This episode actually flies by pretty quickly. With just a little bit of sleuthing and looking around, she's able to determine that this lady in waiting was somewhere in... I don't remember that concubine's name. What was her fucking name? Basically, not the main concubine Mao Mao's with, but the other concubine that Mao Mao saved, I think, twice now, and this will be a third.
Who turns out to be the cousin. Yeah, her
Yeah.
headmaster was her
I'm
headmistress or whatever.
I'm getting there. Anyways, it's part of the story. I can't remember names, but I can remember the plot.
Turns out she got a bun in the oven.
Mm-hmm. Which is very important.
Yeah.
So Mao Mao comes in, but she has to do it undercover because she knows as soon as the headmistress sees her, she's going to be all like, okay, make sure we hide the things, hide the evidence, all this jazz. So what she does is she dresses up like a proper lady in waiting herself, makes herself extremely beautiful, so she's very difficult to recognize if you don't know what she looks like without makeup, or at least with different kind of makeup, because her freckles are fake. But she shows up with the other doctor, the one she keeps calling a quack. And they show up, and she's using him to kind of ask questions and poke around a bit until they find the shed that is, just a storage shed, your average storage shed. There's nothing in there, only, someone who's sick and fucking dying. And Mao Mao spots this based off just a few things that we'll go over in a second. She pulls a little clever trick by distracting the headmistress and then sending the doctor to open the shed and look inside. And then they have no choice but to go look inside. And they see that the girl who was sick is indeed in there. She's very sick with something very harsh because it's making her cough up blood. And, oh, I feel so bad for her. The only thing they ever did was send people in there to give her food and water, but they didn't administer any actual good treatment for her for some fucking reason. Turns out, as Richie had said before I could get to it, the headmistress is actually the cousin of this particular concubine. And she was extremely jealous, which brought a couple things into at least a bit of a better light. This particular concubine had some very choice ladies in waiting who weren't exactly, what's the word, intelligent. They didn't listen to a lot of the things that were being said about, the makeup pattern stuff, and that's why she almost died the first go around. They kept putting makeup on her because they wanted her to look pretty. But makes you wonder who told them to do that in the first place. But not only was the sick person found in this shed, so was also all of the incense and perfumes that could be used to make poison. Specifically,
The evidence.
Yes. Poison specifically, what is it? I forgot what the word was. Oh, no. Abortion drugs, that's it. And this was very harsh and incriminating evidence against her. So she knew, as the head lady, she knew and was told explicitly that these contents were to not be had anywhere around the concubines as a whole. So the fact that she had them and was hiding them and keeping them secret, which they got to do a little more digging and made her kind of confess, essentially, in front of that particular concubine as well, who, it was a wonderful moment when she got to stand up. She smacked that bitch herself. And I'm sitting there like, yes, another slapping episode.
Not the first time, right? Wait, is this the same girl?
Yeah.
Is this the same girl?
No, that was a
Mau Mau
different
slapped?
girl that got
Okay,
slapped.
Gotcha.
But this lady, she deserved it.
Oh, yeah,
Because
absolutely.
She was insanely jealous. She was sitting there like, I'm supposed to be the concubine. You were supposed to be my lady in waiting.
Also, she's not jealous of of the concubine. She's jealous of the position because she wants to be empress. Yeah.
Fair. My bad. But either way, she really wanted to kill her cousin because of this jealousy and this, or at least if not kill the cousin, at least stop the pregnancy. All of this came to light, and we don't know what's going to happen to her. No, we do. Never mind. Because obviously attempting to kill, or at least stop the pregnancy would be like attempting to kill the emperor's children. So that has some harsh consequences. But instead, the concubine in this case, she's sitting there. It's like, okay, so we're just going to say that she just spoke up wrong and that she's just fired, okay? So we'll put her out on the streets and call it done. So she's basically helping her avoid the death penalty, which in some ways could be worse for this lady because not only did she miss her chance to be empress, she's missing her chance to have a glorious life anymore. If she ever goes back to her family, it'll be with disgrace and dishonor. So, she fucked herself on that one. And that's essentially most of what happens in this episode. Yeah. Am I missing anything, Richie?
I don't think so.
So yeah, I give this episode I'll give this another 8 because it was really good. It was really fun. No, the slap boosts it up to a 9. Never mind.
I was gonna say I'm giving it a 9. There's a lot going on here. We're back to the detective mystery stuff. We learned a lot more information about the palace, and just we're getting more and more into the overall mystery of what's going on. Each thing that she solves, we realize it's all connected to a bigger, grander plot, and that's really pushing the story forward for me. So I'm really intrigued by this. I love this freaking show. Alrighty, let's move on to Solo Leveling.
Woo!
Okay, dude, we went through a lot in this episode of Solo Leveling. There was,
Yes,
I'm telling you guys, we're probably gonna get through Jeju Island, at least to the end of Jeju Island by the end of this season. I don't think we're going to get to the start of Jeju. I think we're getting right there because they showed so much this episode. All right, so first off, I loved watching all the people last episode go, who's this new character? I was like, oh, and then one person going, oh god, do I have to remember another name? And I go, nah, you don't. Character's so unimportant. And we find out about the actor douchebag. There are some subtle differences. Between the manhwa and the anime here in like terms of how it was handled. But overall, it's pretty much the same. So Zenu shows up for his re-examination. Meanwhile, this douchebag actor has a press conference at a time that he was told not to have the press conference, which is why this whole thing happened. So, yeah. Also, I'm loving the amount of people that are thinking that, like, every dungeon that Zenu goes into, it just goes bad because of Zenu's presence. I'm like, no, sadly, it's a large set of coincidences. I love how much people are overreading this stuff. It's beautiful. But Zenu goes in. He is greeted by the guild masters of the Hunters and the White Tiger guilds. So many people were like, "Oh yeah, they're bowing to Zenu because they know he's strong." No, they're bowing out of gratitude because he has literally saved their hunters from two gates now, a really strong A rank gate and a red gate. So it is a bow of appreciation for someone who saved their people. That's essentially what it is. So Zenu goes in. They ask him to show what he's capable of. He summons one shadow soldier, and Goga, he is just like, my guy.
Stop holding out on
my
us.
people already told me, stop holding out. And he's like, all right, fuck it. And he brings them all out, and he goes, oh, yeah, I could also summon 100 more.
Meanwhile, the other two masters of the other guilds, they're sitting outside like, holy shit, that aura.
They can feel the presence through that, like, and when we say door, it's not a traditional door. This is supposed to be sealed off. You're not supposed to feel his aura through that. His aura is just leaking out, and they're like, holy shit. Yeah, it's great. So he gets his new S rank card, goes to walk out. They try to talk to him. He's like, no, I don't want to hear it. Walks out the door, and then everybody is there. All of the press is there, and they're now completely ignoring the actor because the 10th S rank hunter was just officially announced for Korea. I also really liked Gina's friend showing her. It was like, hey, your brother's on the TV. You should probably pay attention. Wait, what? It's so good.
No, I love the moment where Bake is sitting there, has his hand on his shoulder. It's like, here, we can help escort you out. And he's like, nah, I'm good.
Nah, I got this. Just, yeah. This was a nice touch, too. When they made the announcement, you got to see different people reacting to it. Obviously, you saw the one guy that was like, I told you he had killer's eyes. What'd he do? And he finds out he's an S rank, and he's like, ah! But I loved seeing Juhi back home in Busan, and I loved seeing, I forget the guy's name, but the one-armed man. Yeah, the one-armed swordsman.
Yep, bleeding out here.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Him, and their reaction to it was so good. It was so good seeing different people. And then you had Cha Hae-in reacting to it as well. But yeah, so the announcement goes out, and then immediately upon leaving the area, he goes to start picking up items from is it the auction house, or is it like what is the place specifically? I forget what it was.
I'm not sure, but they clearly just sell a shit ton of magic items.
Yeah, they sell a shit ton of magic items for like the more elite members, and it's at this point where Zenu realizes, holy shit, the stuff that I buy from the store is incredibly expensive. Man can make money hand over fist by just buying like mid-tier shit from the store and selling it to them for like bigger prices. It's insane.
And it's even more hilarious because he's sitting there just like, can I use your bathroom real quick? And he just goes in there, just goes on a little buying spree, comes back out, it's like, okay, so how much for this one? How much for this one? How much for this one?
Yeah.
They don't show it, but the next scene you see him in a dungeon, he's got the stuff he needed, so
yep.
he made the money.
The money for it. Getting to Jinho. Jinho reveals to his dad that Jinu is not going to join their guild, and that in fact Jinu offered to Jinho to for Jinho to join him in making a guild, and Jinho standing up to his dad and saying, "I'm gonna go with Jinu." And his dad's like, "Are you sure? This is incredibly selfish because you asked me to take your brother off of this so you could do it, and now here we are. You're taking it back." And it's like, yeah, I loved seeing the conviction in Gino's eyes, and especially if you have read the light novel, which gives you a little more information into Jinho's family and how intimidated he is by his dad and everything. It's a big deal that Jinho kind of stood up right there and like stood up for himself, you know? So we get that. Dude, there's so much stuff that gets covered in this episode. There's way too much. Then I forget what the exact next thing is. I think we're in their Jinu and Jina's home, and they're like looking out Jina's looking out the window to see if the press is gone, and they finally gone. Then we get a doorbell ring, and you know, Jinu thinks it's the press again, and it turns out no, it's Jinho. And instead of in the manhwa where he just closed the door on him immediately, and he had to go find his own place, he brings Jinho in and he lets him stay there for the night, which is pretty cool. And then we find out that Jinho's father is having some medical issues, and he collapsed, and it turns out that he has the same sleep disease that Jinu's mom does. So we cut forward to Jinho dropping Jinu off at the building that is basically the demon dungeon area, and he goes into the demon dungeon. He lets Tusk out to use the Orb of Avarice, which was probably the best animated intro of a shadow character yet. Like, he just comes up with the arm, grabs the orb, and then the rest of him starts coming out of the shadow. It was so good. Oh no, I missed one other thing. I'm an idiot. Jinu got on his Batman arc before he went into the dungeon. He summoned the High Orc, the 3 of the 4 High Orc guardians of Tusk, and he's like, "Where's the 4th one?" And he points up, and he's like, "Oh shit, he's the dude I knocked onto the ceiling, and he was stuck on the ceiling, so I never extracted his shadow." He asks one of the orcs to guard Gina, so he hides in her shadow. This is an important detail for much later, but it's good to know that. And then he summons a bunch of his regular night shadows and has them spread out to keep an eye on the neighborhood and protect things. So again, he's on his Batman arc. All right, so back to the demon dungeon. They go through 5 floors. He says he's been on floor 80 for 2 days? I think it was. And then he notices that some of his shadow soldiers are being wiped out pretty quickly because his mana's draining. And he goes to investigate, and he ends up finding these armored demon warriors. Turns out they're demon knights. And at first they look kind of intimidating, but if you know anything about this show, you know that Jinu it's light work. It's light work for Jinu. And it ends with probably the most evil expression that Jinu has given throughout the series, and him stating that, "I always wondered if Magic Beast ever felt fear. I'm glad to have finally got my answer." And just that evil grin and those glowing eyes, man. Oh, it was so good. So we're going to be introduced to the demon clans very, very soon. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
We covered... Oh, I forgot one other thing. The ant. We saw an ant fly. We saw a flying ant, and it has made it to an island with people on it. So those 2 hunters that encountered the ant, and that ant looks scary. Like they did a good job of making that ant look like intimidating and scary. So that's going to start playing out. So in the background, we have this build up to Jeju Island. I know there's a lot of stuff that's supposed to be in between before Jeju Island kicks off, but at the rate that they're going through information from the manhwa, the rate that they're just barreling through story in the manhwa, I think we'll actually get to Jeju Island for the end of this. I don't know. But I feel like they will because they're just moving. All right. That is basically everything. This was... I know there's people that are like, there's not enough action going on. It's mid. I'm like, you guys are idiots. You need setup before you get to these amazing episodes, like last week's episode, which was predominantly all action. But, yeah, you need all of this. This is good because you can't just have all action all the time or it becomes stale and boring. So episodes like these are needed, and there is plenty of content going on in this episode that should have satisfied. I definitely give this one a 9. I think this was a fantastic episode just for the breadth of story that it covered and how well it handled the material it was covering. And as always, the animation is on point. Like A1 Studios, what are you guys doing? You are killing it. Holy shit. Moon, you rating?
My rating? 9 out of 10.
Fenris, you said you saw this episode?
Yep, giving it a 9 as well.
Nice. Alrighty. Hoshi, did you watch any of this?
No, I've been sick.
That's okay.
Oh, you're fine.
That's a valid reason. All right, so 3 9s it is for this episode of Solo Leveling. And last but not least, we have last week's episode of Zenshu. Okay, go ahead, Moon. Tell us about that one.
Give me a second. I gotta see it again.
The cocoon stuck to the building.
Right, but I've got to like look at it so my brain will actually remember.
Also, our boy the hero is starting to fall for the artist. And it's super cute.
Okay. So, yeah, last we left off, the cocoon was left on the building after What's-Her-Face tried and failed to take on everything herself. She's having to learn to accept people. Okay. And they're reviewing the actions, reviewing what happened, and what's her name's like, okay, it was an oversight on my part. I didn't know it was going to be liquid. If I had known that, I would have drawn something else. And they're just like, well, okay, but it's still a fuck up. You can't do everything yourself. Hero Boy talks with the dragon, and they have a moment of, I don't even remember what they talk about, honestly. But it's basically a big old pep talk. That gets Hero Boy out of his head a bit and figuring out that, you know, I don't even remember. Oh my god, it was. I should have rewatched this before jumping in here. God. Then drawing chick, she's back at the bar, and the robot dude comes up and straight up tells her to her face, it's like, you gotta have more faith in us. You gotta trust us, and we can work together, and we can make this shit work. It's kind of a more direct way for her to learn the lesson, but it soaks in a bit. Eventually, they come up with a plan. They all work together to figure out a plan to take on this cocoon whenever the fuck it hatches. They don't know what it's going to look like. But when it does hatch, it's a fucking centipede-looking ass son of a bitch. And this time, what she has to draw is just stairs. Because she can let the other guys handle this one. All they got to do is really, just attack it. They've got the plan where Elf Girl's gonna hit it with some magic and I think it was arrows. The unicorn's gonna throw magic at it and stuff, and sword or Hero Boy just hits it with the sword. And the thing hatches, everything's happening, and she's drawing. She's got the stairs going, but it keeps hitting back, keeps fighting back, it's destroying some of the stairs that are created. So she has to quickly redraw in some stairs and stuff, and it gets to a point where they're having to cross to the other side that she can't see. She doesn't know what's going on. So then Dragon Boy shows up and he's like, "How can I help? What can I do?" And she's sitting there like, "Carry the desk." What? So he basically takes her whole fucking desk with her on it and puts it on his ass like a helmet. And he starts flying around, which is a bit tough and painful for him. And this is where Hero Boy gets to see, oh, one of the last battles we were in together, he can't fly from that. Oh, maybe that's why he's been, oh, poor thing. Somewhere in the midst of this, also, the unicorn, his horn gets knocked off. Can't wait to see what happens with that. But, basically things happen. They get saved. Sword Boy cuts the bug open. They save everything, and main girl falls asleep. But yeah, people learned lessons and so on and so forth.
Alrighty. What was your rating?
I'd give this rating an 8.
Yeah, I think it's kind of around an 8. I am enjoying how like stuff is starting, like characters are starting to come together, like Justice like finally helping out. Yeah, Zenshu, I was really hoping it was going to be way better than it was. It's good. I had such high hopes, you know?
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel a little let down. Not like majorly or anything. Like it's still good. I enjoy watching it. It's just, man, when you
I
tell
was
me Studio
expecting
Mappa's doing
more.
something, I'm expecting like an absolute banger, and it's just like, yeah, this is nice.
I
Yeah.
was expecting more in the with her alive before she got isekai'd.
Mm. Yeah,
Like
also true.
maybe an episode and a half of her actually living her life, and oh, I died.
I mean, I do
Instead
like
of-
the point of this episode is literally bringing it back something from the beginning of like you need to stop trying to do everything by yourself. You need to like rely on us and let us help. And so, I mean, she hasn't really gotten through with that. Like she hasn't fully gotten that through her thick head, but she's trying. And so an attempt was made.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. That being said, I'm going to give this one a 7. And that is it for our reviews for the end. This has been Anime Church. The spoiler tag is down, in case you're still with us. We'll be back in about 2 hours over on the Twitch channel for the solo leveling manga reading. Make sure to come by and check us out there. That being said, thank you so much for coming by and hanging out. And don't forget, tomorrow we have the light novel streams. But before that, Konosuba drops on the YouTube channel. So make sure to come and check that out. All right. Talk to you all later. Have a good one. I am Richie Roberts, your Minister of Science and Technology.
I am Moonlight Sparks, your Minister of Arceology. Praise Arceus.
Oh, I'm Hoshi Nugget, the nun of nuggies.
And I'm Fenrir Sarun, your patron saint to snackos and alcohol.
And that's it for our show. We'll see you next week for more newsy news here on Anime Church.